President Tinubu addresses United Nations General Assembly, solicits global commitment to crack down on terror financing.
Good governance has hindered Africa, but broken promises, unfair treatment, and outright exploitation from abroad have also exerted a heavy toll on our ability to progress.
Speaker, House of Representatives justifies increase in number of standing committees.
Every standing committee lives to its responsibility.
Plus, correspondent takes a look at process of election petition in the Electoral Act. A very good evening to you and many thanks for joining us on NTA Parliament News. I am Ene Ojonuba. President Bola Tinubu was a resounding voice as he joined world leaders in search of common solutions to challenges confronting the world at the United Nations General Assembly high-level debate in New York. President Tinubu emphatically called for sincerity of purpose from member nations as he reaffirmed Nigeria and Africans' readiness to contribute in healing the world. State House correspondent Musbal Dan Wahab reports.
A quiet Tuesday morning in part of New York City. But from this building were voices to the world, voices towards unity of purpose to improve the global system and for its inhabitants.
That freedom will finally prevail.
We need to bring the same commitment and urgency and ambition as we work together to meet the Sustainable Development Goals of 2030.
The solutions are peculiar as they come, and so too is this new, yet assertive voice.
On behalf of the people of Nigeria,
President Tinubu lends his voice against man's inhumanity to man and to the environment, leading to adverse effects from the universe manifesting in climate change. But while reaffirming the commitment of Nigeria and indeed Africa towards finding solutions to global challenges, Tinubu calls for sincerity of purpose in the crackdown on terror financing, economic sabotage, illicit mining, and arms smuggling in the developing world.
many proclamations have been made, yet our troubles remain close at hand. Failures in good governance have hindered Africa, but broken promises, unfair treatment, and outright exploitation from abroad have also exerted a heavy toll on our ability to progress. We are not asking for identical programs and actions. What we seek is an equal, firm commitment to partnership.
ECOWAS, under his chairmanship, has been up against unconstitutional takeover of governments in West Africa and on the continent. The Nigerian leader wants global support against political instability in Africa.
African nation will improve our economies so that our people do not risk their life to sweep the floors and streets of other nations. We also shall devote ourselves to disbanding extremist groups on our turf.
However, President Tinubu invites the world for a genuine business in Nigeria as he says efforts are on in policies to ensure a more conducive environment for businesses.
Welcome partnership with those who not mind seeing Nigeria and Africa assume larger roles in the global community. The question is not whether Nigeria is open for business. The question is how much of the world is truly open to doing business with Nigeria, and how African is an equal, mutually beneficial manner.
Other African leaders also speak on equity and fairness in matters concerning the continent.
The people of our continent are once again bearing the cost of industrialization of the North and the development of the wealthy nations of the world. This is a price that the people of Africa are no longer prepared to pay.
In New York, Musbal and Wahab, NTA News.
Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas says the creation of additional standing committees in the Green Chamber is to expand the scope for better oversight functions by lawmakers in federal ministries, departments, and agencies of government in line with modern-day realities. At the interactive session with the National Assembly correspondents, Speaker Abbas clarified that the increase in the number of standing committees from 109 in the 9th Assembly to more than 130 in the 10th Assembly is not to reward lawmakers, but to close deficiencies and ensure value addition in the oversight functions of the House.
This time around, we want to ensure that every standing committee lives to its responsibility. Every standing committee must be seen working for the betterment of our Nigerian people. Every standing committee must stand to the ethics of our own assembly. We don't want to see things being done under the table. We want transparency. We want result-oriented administration, and that is the reason why we decided that this time around there should be a standing committee that will be daily monitoring what is happening in other standing committees.
The issue of committees, holding their briefing or investigative hearing in closed session. And then when you say it's an investigation or a probe, we expect a scenario whereby it's it's an open investigation rather than holding it in secrecy or behind closed doors. But we are hopeful that this meeting and interaction with the Speaker will definitely give us a way forward.
The Speaker pledged to work in collaboration with the media in implementing the legislative agenda of the House and deepening the nation's democracy. The House of Representatives says it is prepared to make a great difference in lawmaking, representation, and oversight to justify the confidence Nigerians repose in the legislature. Speaker of the House Tajuddin Abbas stated this during a meeting with the United Nations Development Program and other technical partners of the Nigerian legislature. National Assembly correspondent Mitari Ikpen reports.
Honorable members, the clerk of the House.
In developing its legislative agenda, the 10th House of Representatives is working with international partners to share best practices in parliamentary reforms towards promoting good governance. Speaker Tajuddin Abbas at this meeting notes that the Green Chamber is working with several parliamentary friendship groups to deepen relations with other parliaments globally, all in a bid to respond effectively to the yearnings and expectations of the citizenry.
To us, as the representatives of the people, institution building is the gateway to professionalism, efficiency, and productivity. We are committed to ensuring that the 10th House of Representatives can respond to the yearnings and expectations of the citizen.
The creation of this program management unit is something that we really welcome. I think to be able to kind of articulate where your priorities lie and to then have a unit that is actually can maybe further expand those and also coordinate the work of the international community.
Along building democratic and accountable institutions that work for Nigerians. And our development priorities are aptly captured in your legislative agenda.
Representatives of various development and technical partners will be engaging with relevant committees of the House towards a robust implementation of its legislative agenda. From the National Assembly, Mitari Ikmen, NTA News.
In a bid to fulfill one of its constitutional obligations, the Bauchi State House of Assembly has embarked on an oversight visit to the State Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. State Assembly correspondent Nasiru Umar Teruwon reports that there was consensus to work in synergy for the economic growth and the development of the state.
As part of efforts towards ensuring adequate accountability of pounds in the state, the House Committee on Budget and Appropriation and other committees have continued to interact with commissioners in various ministries of Bauchi State. In their separate remarks, Chairman House Committee on Budget and Appropriation Umar Habib and that of Justice Balarishi solicited for synergy between the ministries and the legislature for the deployment of the state.
Secondly, to know each other, so that we know each other. When I meet with the chairman, with the honorable commissioner, the advisor, cabinet secretary, and the rest, we know who are these, and they equally know who are the members of the appropriation committee. And another one is to know your area of jurisdiction as well as activities.
So we just come to at least see you people and have interaction for the first time. And I know I do hope, or we do hope, that things will go better for us and the Bauchi state in totality.
We are here for nothing, but only to have and plead with you to have a very good working relationship. Once we have a very good working relationship, I think we have achieved what we want for the betterment of the state. And when we talk of betterment of the state, we are talking of the betterment of Nigeria and the world at large.
Ours is just to complement the effort of this very ministry and also the effort of our Executive Governor of Bauchi State, Senator Bala Mohammed Gauram Bauchi, for his tremendous effort in ensuring that the Bauchi State government has reached where we are hoping to reach, inshallah.
They promised to collaborate with the committees for the smooth service delivery and the check and balance between the two parties. They also assured their commitment for bringing deployment to the present administration and the people of Bauchi at large.
We've started speaking with some of our partners, to see how they can come in to support us. In that respect, we've also discussed among ourselves here if it requires us, to do something internally. We have versatile, officers here, people who've been in budget for a very, very long time, people who've been in planning for quite a long time.
Its composition, powers, jurisdiction, and its rules under the same constitution from 270 to 274. And the High Court of Justice has unlimited jurisdictions in all matters, while the Sharia Court of Appeal of Bauchi State is also created under the constitution under section 275 to 279.
With this visitation by the committees, and it is expected that all challenges faced by the ministries will be addressed. In Bauchi, Nasir Umar Turun, NTA News.
Kano State House of Assembly Committee on Works and Housing has presented at plenary its finding on the collapse of intersection at Tijani Hashim Underpass. Samira Hamisu Shira reports that the Public Accounts Committee also continued presentation of its financial reports.
During the plenary of Tuesday, the 12th of September 2023, Representative Aminu Saadu of Ngogu moved a matter of urgent public importance on the collapsed intersection of U-turn to Kurna on Tijani Hashim Underpass, which was referred to the Committee on Works for further scrutiny, where they consulted the Civil Engineering Department of the Ministry of Works and Housing alongside visitation to the site.
There is no any problem with the structure of the main underpass. 3.4, the committee discovered that the collapse of the intersection of U-turn to Kurna was as the result of transboring during the installation of electric cables for street lights and lack of compaction at the embankment of the bridge, where the ground rift near the retaining wall of the underpass as a result of heavy rainfall. 3.5, the committee observed that another part of the intersection of Opadua Road is collapsed as a result of blockage of drainage, which reverses rain to the retaining wall of the underpass. 3.6.
In another development, Representative Ibrahim Mohammed from Ranu presented a motion for the construction of Chakwaya to Ranu and GSS Barkum to Shingi roads, all in Ranu local government area, which was unanimously adopted. House will reconvene on Monday, the 25th of September 2023. From the Kano State House of Assembly, Samira Hamisu Shira, NTA News.
Speaker, Kano State House of Assembly, Jibril Ismail Falgore, says all the 40 lawmakers will donate a token from their salaries to Awal Salisu, known as Dambaba, a tricycle rider who returned millions of naira left in his tricycle. This came under order of personal explanation of Representative Salisu Ibrahim Muhammad, as provided in Order 2, Rule 5 of the House Standing Rules. Samira Hamisu Shira reports on these and other engagements at the hallowed chambers.
A couple of days ago, there were reports over the media on a tricycle rider who returned local and international currencies worth millions of naira that were left in his tricycle. Thorough investigation on the authenticity of the story, Representative Salisu Ibrahim Mohammed from Dogua constituency said the action of the 22-year-old tricycle rider is commendable.
To celebrate somebody from Kano who bought the missing sum of money in foreign currency and Nigerian naira, estimated at over 8 million naira and 18 million naira, sorry, and got it returned to the owner, despite the existence of poverty in the family. So I feel I call on the state government to do something, and I call on members of the house to allow this person to come to this hollow chamber and take a vow and get a commendation letter from this house on behalf of us. I also call national and international NGOs who always clamor for honesty and sincerity of purpose. This is something for you worthy of celebration.
And another development representative, Amin Saadu of Ngogo constituency, presented a motion on the upgrade of basic health center to the status of a cottage hospital. On his part, Garbaya Ugarme, who represents Gari's Anyawa constituency, also moved a motion for the conversion of vocational training school Gwarme to boarding technical school in Gari.
And as well, when we look at the standard of the WHO, you find out that it is not even in consonance with the arrangement of the WHO. It should be a health facility for over 40 years without upgrade. And as well, when you look at the size of the population, as I said earlier, the population of the area is too much and too high for such a basic center to handle. The constitution of the primary health care that any society that has more than 150,000 is entitled to have a general hospital.
From the Kano State House of Assembly, Samira Hamisu Shira, NTA News.
You are watching NTA Parliament News. Still to come, correspondent on special assignment takes a look at election petition processes. After this break, please don't go away. Many thanks for staying with us. 3 months after the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly, the fate of some members are still hanging in the balance. No thanks to the avalanche of court judgments from the various election tribunals across the country. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo takes a look at the process of election petition as provided in the 2022 Electoral Act.
Periodic elections, a significant feature of democracy, remains a major source of legitimacy for elected officials. Unfortunately, it is not without some setbacks. The study of electoral processes in time and space shows that the process is characterized by a number of unintended circumstances. That is why laws guiding elections usually go hand in hand with provisions for the expression of grievances arising from the ballot.
The proof of electoral petitions by a petitioner is on the preponderance of evidence. That means you have to shift the burden of the proof of your case to the respondent. Why you fail and or neglect to shift the burden of proof by way of balance of probabilities or preponderance of evidence to the respondent, you will woefully fail in adjudication of your case.
Section 130, subsection 3 of the Act provides that election tribunals shall be constituted not later than 30 days before elections, and when constituted, shall open their registries 7 days before the election. The presidential election petition travels from Court of Appeal to Supreme Court. That of governorship moves from tribunal through the Appeal and Supreme Court, while that of the National and State Assembly terminates at the Appeal Court.
On the National Assembly matters, of course, the ruling of the tribunal is not the final position of the law. They still have, the aggrieved parties still have that right to appeal to a court of appeal. Likewise, that of the governorship and the presidential election also gets to the Supreme Court. So that the tribunal have ruled against or in favor of one now does not mean that the litigation has ended.
The Constitution did not in any way say that once a judgment is given, the implementation should be instantaneous. In other words, what the Constitution provides is room for appeals. And that is provided under sections 230 to 304 of the Constitution. And then when one is going on appeal, it is expected that under section 36 of the Constitution, you have not been declared guilty until you have really exhausted all the avenues of appeals.
In Nigeria, while Part 4 of the Electoral Act 2022 provides for the electoral procedures, Part 8 deals with the determination of petitions arising from the process. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Political admirers and top functionaries from the three arms of government in Oyo State have celebrated the new chairman of Conference of Speakers of State Legislature in Nigeria, Adebo Ogundoyin, over his emergence recently. Correspondent Oyeyinka Omole captured the moment of the celebration and now reports.
Having emerged victorious as the youngest chairman to be elected by the Conference of Speakers of State Legislature Nigeria, and coming from Oyo, the pace-setter state, the three arms of government, led to the celebration by the state deputy governor, Bayo Lawal, praised the heroic move of the new chairman, Adebo Ogundoyin. The new chairman was advised not to allow distractions, but focus on improving legislative duties at the state level across Nigeria for the good of the people.
No need to fear. It is well with you, and you are going greater and greater heights. Courage to aspire. So I thank you for even having the courage to go after this.
In the midst of the majority, you triumph, Mr. Speaker. We are in PDP states, and we have close to 20-something APC speakers. Yet, you came out victorious.
The National Assembly had to their credit 97 bills passed into law under Adebo Ogundoyin.
While acknowledging the task ahead of him, Adebo Ogundoyin promised to lead by example.
But to be honest, it was very intricate politics, and I also want to use this opportunity to thank and appreciate all the speakers of all the states of Nigeria in their absentia.
The 36-year-old Speaker of Oyo State House of Assembly is the youngest to lead the Conference of Speakers of State Legislature in Nigeria. In Ibadan, Oyeyinka Omole, NTA News.
And that's the size of our news bulletin. Remember, NTA stands against rape and rapists, and you can join in the fight. You can also follow this bulletin and other news updates on our social media handles showing on your screen. Thank you for watching and have a good evening. I am Ene Ojonuba.